You know, when my dad was in the Navy, and in I think it was 1958 or 59. We were stationed down in Memphis, Tennessee, and I used to watch the wrestling all the time. And there was a big villain by the name of Sputnik Monroe, and the big baby face at that time was a guy named Billy Wicks, and I used to love this Billy Wicks. And when I got back to Minnesota, probably in the early '60s, I used to watch it all the time, but my folks wouldn't let me. Well, when I was a walk-on freshman at the University of Minnesota football team, and I was a wide receiver, and the quarterback, who was a walk-on quarterback, was Greg Gagne. So he and I hit it off real good together. We were 17 years old, became real good friends, and really clicked on the field together. Greg stayed until his sophomore year, and then he wasn't going to play quarterback, so he moved to the University of Wyoming. And I stayed in touch with him. I went to a couple parties out at his dad's house, and I thought, geez, I mean, that was the first real millionaire that I had been involved with, you know, and he lived on the lake, and he had the Viking coaches over there, and a great estate fry and everything. So to make a long story short, I played football, had a tryout at the Washington Redskins in 1972, didn't make it, came back. Greg called me and he said, "Hey, do you want to try wrestling?" And I said, "Well, why not?" He said, "Well, Ric Flair, Ken Patera, Khosrow Vaziri, Bob Bruggers, myself, and you," and I don't want to forget anybody, but Vern decided, you know, he's going to have another camp, and he invited me, so that was it. And little did I know, if somebody would have asked me, I spent over 25 years of my life being a pro wrestler, I would have said, no way.
Huh.
Did pretty well. Bob Bruggers and Ric Flair is still doing it, but Bob Bruggers was a great athlete at the University of Minnesota and wound up in a plane crash down in North Carolina. Actually broke his back, and from that point on he had to quit. So it was hard. It was 10 weeks, 6 days a week, and it was 6 hours a day.
Wow.
And we did a lot of calisthenics. We got to the point where we could do 1,000 free squats without stopping, you know, which is pretty dang good.
Right.
And Billy Robinson was the person that really trained us. And then after he worked with us all day and we were good and tired, then Vernon come in and jump on us and
Try to
beat the
stretch
snot out of you. Yeah.
Right.